disability program and the peace building program, the Secure Livelihoods program yesterday also had the testing part of the program area review. Okay, the various clustering approaches that have evolved, and then really find out what works, what does not work, why it works and why it does not work. But there are two different kinds of clusters in the Secure Livelihood program. A cluster which is in Eastern Samar and a cluster which is in Agusan del Sur. So for Eastern Samar is placing volunteers in the municipality that deals with Maturino Bay, and in Agusan Sur it's really placing volunteers in the province working hopefully together towards a common plan of the province. So the next challenge, they said, was lack of communication on some aspects of the strategy. So this is really something that we take responsibility for. The suggestion was more cross-volunteer partner meetings, or even just partners meetings, because we have been quite good at putting volunteers together and then having cluster meetings. It was only very recently that we have consciously involved partners as well. So another challenge was how to have all stakeholders together. So now we're talking about members of SL and members of SL clusters. So one of the suggestions was to build capacity of partner organizations in terms of stakeholder management, finding a system that could sustain working together, and basically identifying who takes the lead. So one of the other challenges is mechanism and how to make it functional. So that one of the things that they suggested is maybe having a proper documentation system, handover for smoother transition, and of course strengthening the collaboration. So, and then another is local leadership changes. We know that when you're working with LGUs, you're very much, it's very significant if you have the support of local leaders. And local leaders get re-elected every 3 years. So if the local leader whom you had complete support from gets changed, it's almost often like starting from base one. So one of the things that they said is being clear on the value added of clustering might get the support and commitment of new leaders, the support that the former leaders promised, and the support that you got from the former leaders could continue. The next statement that we worked on was SL partners, resource mob teams, shall work as a cluster towards common goals and objectives. Talking about LGU partners, some have really very different initiatives than the others. And there's no problem with differing, but conflicting priorities might be the problem, and interests. And then there's different capacities. There's different level of RM initiatives, and there's difference in resource mob for LGUs and NGOs. So one of the things, some of the things that they said could be done to address the challenges is really strengthening, forming the collaborations and partnerships and strengthening it. Building capacities because there's already recognition of difference in capacity, and highlighting good practice. The group that said mobilizing resources as a cluster is the way to do it, said that they always believe that the sum of the whole is always greater than the sum of its parts. Mention of the value of working in clusters is it strengthens your bargaining power, it helps in your advocacy, it increases productivity levels, and increases capacity by others acting as big brothers. Statement 3 we flashed, we asked them if this is something that they agreed to. And basically, it was something that they agreed to, although there was a question on why is it not happening now? So, it was a question that was posed to partners as well as to partners. Why is this not happening now? That incorporating learning and sharing activities that can be shared across SO partners. But one of the things that were mentioned in terms of learning and sharing activity as a form of example is the thing that we're doing on the website, providing a venue for sharing your best practice and finding out what others are doing. Seemed to be that sustainable. The next statement that we wanted to test was that S and LGU partners, which is majority of the partners, shall build their capacity in volunteer management and development. Okay, we asked first here the LGU partners. LGU partners mentioned that it would be welcome because there really isn't that much that they formally know about volunteer dev and management. Because they've always been simply recipients of, well not simply, recipients of volunteers. Testing statement number 5 said, VSO should assist NGO partners to provide services to local government partners, LGU partners, in regions 8 and 13. What we wanted to have come out of a discussion would be what form of assistance LGUs could make use from NGOs and what form of assistance could we provide NGOs, these NGOs working with LGUs.